How about now? Do you hear my voice? No voice. How about now? Can you hear my voice? Let's see. There's no. How about now? Okay. All right. So sorry about that. So yeah, how do you guys feel about Matt Gaetz withdrawing his nomination? You know, that's something. I mean, it's he really did get got. That's why I said, Gaetz got for the sheer fact that he was nominated by Trump. Most likely, Trump told him, "Yeah, look, I'm going to nominate you. You're not going to have to worry about a thing." Gaetz said, "Okay, cool." And then because he had the gates closing in on him since he was a congressman under congressional investigation, he resigned from Congress, so the investigation legally was supposed to die. And hey, P. Diddy. And so he's like, okay, great, I'm out of Congress. I'm gonna be a cabinet member. Good luck trying to investigate me. And now I'm sure someone strong-armed him into just saying like, no, there's no way you're going to be a cabinet member and we will just humiliate you. And now he has nothing. Can you guys hear me? Because I went from having 5 viewers on, 14, holy guacamole, 14. You guys can't surprise me like that. I am very fragile when it comes to happy things. Hard things, I can deal with it. The happy things, this is espresso. I'm drinking espresso. I don't know if I can show it. Yeah, there you go, espresso. I have a lot of work to do tonight, so I'm just gonna grind. But yeah, I'm so relieved that Matt Gaetz resigned. I don't think he had any change of heart. I just think he knew he was going to be. I just think he knew he was going to be completely destroyed if he went through with either. And there you go. P. Diddy, please don't use. I don't know what you mean by don't use baby oil, but I know the accusations about P. Diddy, but I have no idea what that has to do with baby oil. I don't know what NNN is. Not X. And guys, I have to warn you, I am very susceptible to silly pranks because I don't know a lot of the memes today. So, especially these names. Like, people are, no, not November. No. In fact, I'm trying to do it as much as possible since I'm married and I want to have more children. Yeah, too old. Oh no, it's not that I'm too old. I mean, like, let's say before I became a social media influencer, I was pretty aware of a lot of things that were going on because I used to just write stuff. I used to just write a lot of commentary that wasn't too witnessed. So I saw memes all the time. I'm just busy. Like, I don't have time to do any goofing around. Like, I don't watch anything recreationally. I used to watch movies. I don't watch movies anymore. I used to just be able to scroll on my phone for like an hour, hour and a half, just mindlessly doing any of that. But now I'm always either researching or I'm trying to build the business or I'm taking care of my kids or I'm cooking. So, so yeah, I'm definitely not hip to memes, but it's not the age thing. I'm just busy. So, am I evil? That's a trick question because no one says they're evil. Even the most evil people will never say that they're evil. The best question to ask if you really want to find out if someone is evil is if you ask them, "Are you good?" And then based on their response, you can tell how good they are. To me, my opinion is a really good person will say that they're not good, that they're striving to be good. But someone who I think has a lot of problems, a lot of capacity for evil, will immediately say, yes, I am good, and then they'll start talking about how they're better than other people or how other people are worse than them. How many times did I realize? Oh, not at all. I'm married to a beautiful lady. Russia launched. Okay, see, there are mixed reports. Russia claims that they launched there are news sources. Forgive me. Russian news sources claiming that ICBM was launched, but the Ukrainian defense said that no, just a ballistic missile was launched. So a ballistic missile is not, intercontinental, not something that can, let's say go across oceans. So it wasn't just that Russia launched potentially an ICBM, they launched an ICBM MIRV. And a MIRV is, I forget the abbreviation, but it's pretty much a missile that launches several warheads at once. So this MIRV launched 6 or 7 different warheads. So meaning upon the missile re-entering the atmosphere, it all of a sudden broke up. It wasn't just one warhead, 6 or 7 different warheads broke in. So let's say, if you're tracking that missile and you're about to shoot it down upon re-entry of the atmosphere, and then it re-enters and it's not 1 target, it's now 7 targets, think of what that does. So a lot of people are saying that it was a warning, that Russia said, this is your last warning. We are launching a missile that has all the capabilities of delivering a nuclear warhead or several nuclear warheads, but we are just putting conventional munitions in here. So the thing is, Russia is a bluffer. I think Russia's bluffing. What is my profession? This is my profession. You're a taco licker. All right. Yeah, better to be a giver. Do I think the economy of Afghanistan will ever get better? Yeah, sure. Look, 100 years ago, I'm sure people thought that the economy of China would never get better, especially during the Great Leap Forward when Mao Zedong, through his idiocy and his total incompetence and ruthlessness, had 50 to 60 million of his own people killed through famine, where people were actually eating each other, like deep into the Chinese country away from the cities. So, and I'm sure people are like, well, China is just going to be this wasteland forever. And now look at China. They're the 2nd largest economy in the world. My daughter made this for me. Isn't it beautiful? What do I think will be the response from the woolies if Russia did launch a nuke? I don't know who the woolies is, but if Russia launches even 1 nuke, then there's not going to be much of a Russia left. The United States military knows where every member of Russian parliament is at all times. They know where Putin is at all times. They know where every general is. So the second a nuke is launched, all of those people will go away very quickly. And the world will just be like, well done. Even China. The last thing China wants is anyone to launch a nuclear weapon, especially one of their allies. That's just my take on it. I could be wrong, but I tend to be more correct than incorrect. I don't know what you mean with conventional. Oops, Daisy. Enjoy that. Not now. Yay. Okay. Hold on, guys. All right. So, let's see. I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Chat filter. All messages. Sorry. All right. So, guys, I just had to refilter. I just had to reset the filter because it was only doing top comments. I just want to, fix everything else. Now I'm just going back to everything. Is it true that Trump supported Biden's decision? Which decision of Biden? Oh, you mean of delivering nukes? I don't know. Trump will support whatever gets him ahead, Welcome to the chat. Okay, good. I got everything. But, here's the thing. I just made a post. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but it upset a lot of people, so I know I did a good job. I said that Trump might be the guy who takes down Putin. And not because Trump has anything against Putin or Russia. In fact, like I said, Trump has his knee pads and lipstick out for Putin whenever Putin wants. But Trump is also someone who's willing to abandon someone weak, or he's willing to destroy someone who's weak to make himself look better. And Putin has never been as weak as he is right now. So if Trump gets to say that he is the guy who took down Vladimir Putin while Obama couldn't do it and Biden couldn't do it or even George Bush Jr. couldn't do it, then he will absolutely go for it because he could take so much credit for it. Already I know that Trump is going to take credit for his for Biden's infrastructure bill, which is going to inject at least $400 billion into the economy next year alone. That's going to be a huge economic boom, which Trump will take credit for. Now, if Trump doesn't implement the tariffs he promises, then we're gonna. I think we're gonna do very well. And if he also doesn't go through with the mass deportations, I think we are gonna do very, very well. All right, Karl Heinz Lagerfeld Meyer. Did I know that the peace movement in Europe during the Cold War was a KGB? Yes, absolutely. Even the BLM movement was exacerbated so much because of Russia. Thoughts on the United? I don't know what the UEA is. Do you think they did great to become less oil dependent? Do you mean the UAE, the United Arab Emirates? Yeah, I'm not maybe I'm not a fan of their human rights policies, but economically they've been doing well. Brickistic, hey man, you like this stuff? Love from Falcons. Oh, cool, Falcons. All right. So, do you think the Falcons should be British or Argentinian? Argentinian. I think it should be Argentinian. The British just need to get out. I don't mean to offend you, but it's just the truth. You meant the long-range weapons to strike Russia, by the way. Oh, okay. Let me read your comment. Sorry, Greg. Let me get back. Is it true? Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I don't. Again, I don't know if Trump is capable of supporting anything his opponent does. And I'm saying I don't know. I'm not saying that it's that for sure he wouldn't. I just, based on how he speaks and his actions, I don't know. I don't think he's capable of that. I think he's only capable of exploiting everyone's weaknesses, even his allies, for his own gain. All right, that's just a horrible opinion on a topic I don't know. Now I said, I'm sorry, Brickistic. Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm sure. So let you think that the Falkland Islands belongs to the British when it's thousands of miles away from British territory, or from the British mainland. You know, it's true. I haven't read up on the Falkland Islands in a while, but when I did 20 years ago, I was on the Argentine side. Look, you know, the British having territory thousands of miles away from their island, that's just more imperialism. You know, why not give back Canada to the British then, if we're going to go by that mentality? Do I think that CIA is involved in Trump's decisions about Ukraine? I don't know enough to rule out that possibility. Brickistic, yeah. So you're going back to the old ways of the French and Indian War, but if you want to go back to just logic, Britain, as we know it, is confined to the borders of what was it called? Like what Albion, right? England, and even that piece of Northern Ireland that shouldn't be British. That should be Irish. But okay, there is a compromise met. But to say that something that for most of its history in human knowledge was not in the hands of the British, and was only in the hands of the British because of their imperialism, and the British promised to finish off their imperialism shortly after World War II, actually during World War II, because FDR only said he would help Britain with Lend-Lease on the unconditional surrender of Britain's like like colonial territory. That's why. Now, if the majority of the population of the Falkland Islands want to be British citizens, sure, okay, fine. I highly doubt that. And if you want to go there, you could say, well, then some of America should belong to France. Okay, some of America should belong to Spain. Well, these were all colonial powers fighting over colonial territory. The damage that the colonial powers did to the rest of the world is a lot of it's permanent. And I just think if we do want to claim to be part of a more civil society, especially a modern civil society, then we should give up our territorial claims. And having territory thousands of miles from your territory, from like your actual land, isn't that? Do I think the Bashar government will collapse? Look, I'm not the guy to ask anymore. I thought the Bashar government was going to collapse in like 2015. And look what happened. Look what happened. Obama was a horrible foreign policy guy. I mean, I liked his domestic policy, but his foreign policy was crap. And I've heard all the excuses, and it sounds really nice, but Obama's policies left a scar on the Middle East and left a scar on Ukraine. How you doing, Matthew, aka Mateo? And yeah, I am going to make a post on what you sent me because that was some good stuff. Who is the most appealing candidate for the Democratic Party by the next election, in your opinion? Jeff Jackson. He's currently a congressman of North Carolina, and he was drawn out of his district by the old school Republicans who control the legislature of North Carolina. And to beat them, he became the Attorney General of North Carolina, and he'll be taking his seat January of next year. Philly boy, hey man, how you doing? Do I ever see portions of the U.S. succeeding within the next century with the help of a supporting foreign power? Oh, seceding. No, no, absolutely not. Because every part of the U.S. gets billions of dollars, if not tens of billions of dollars, of federal aid. So if these portions secede, who's going to give them that aid with the wealth of at the equivalent of the wealth of the United States? What do I specialize in? Why am I called? I talk a lot about geopolitics. That's what I'll put my concentration is. I don't like to call myself an expert. I mean, people call me an expert, but I don't like to consider myself one because, I know enough about economics. I know enough about geopolitics, but I don't have a degree. Well, okay, I have a bachelor's in economics, but I don't have any degrees in international relations. I talk a lot about military stuff, but I've never served in the military. I just seem to know more than most, and I talk about it. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but that did get me invited to the NATO summit this year, the 75th anniversary, and the UN summit also this year. And the Brennan Center of Justice has worked with me, so that's kind of nice. By the way, if Trump implements a peace deal for Ukraine, Russia is just going to use the time. Exactly. Well, I think that's why Biden escalated. I think that's why Biden allowed Ukraine to have access to long-range U.S. weaponry and to fire indiscriminately, because if Ukraine can start hammering all of Russia's ability to reinforce the current Russian army in Ukraine, then, they'll at least set Russia back, months or even a year prior to, prior to today in their campaign. Because there is a chance that enough Russian infrastructure can be destroyed, even in this 2-month period, that Putin may have to pull out, or just the Russian forces in Ukraine get entirely annihilated, and then there's nothing for Russia to do. Have you talked about the whole attackums in Russia? Yeah, yeah, I have. But feel free to ask, Matthew. It's fine. I only have 11 people. This is much easier than the 200 I have on TikTok on my live. Napoleon did the same thing after 18 months after the peace deal. He attacked Europe again. Karl Heinz, the world is a completely different place than 213 years ago. Also, the attacks into Russia are mainly with drones and missiles and not troops, aside from Kursk. But Ukraine has been holding off the Russian army in Kursk. Do I think Trump is going to do a special operation in Mexico? No, he's not going to do anything against that. Nice. Did I learn from experience, like working in certain environments, or self-taught? I guess self-taught. Okay, if you want to know, I don't like to even call them my credentials, because my degrees have nothing to do with why I know what I know. But I do have a bachelor's in mathematics. I have a bachelor's in economics, and I have a master's of science in statistics. But that doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. It means that maybe I have a capacity for handling a lot of quantitative data, but I'm actually a history and humanities guy. That's the stuff I really like. And I guess, geopolitics. And I'm a good arguer. So I've also been reading encyclopedias since I was 9 years old. So everything I learn, I always try to apply it. So let's say I finished getting my degrees in 2017, and I've just been paying attention to it every single day. So, if you have that kind of background, that quantitative background with a lot of qualitative background as well, and then you're constantly applying what you've learned every single day to world events and prices and market movements, it does help it helps give you an extra edge on perspective. Is it really going to make a difference? Usage of ATACMS? Is it too late? I think it can make a difference. I think Ukraine is one of the most battle-hardened militaries in the world. Like I've said in my posts, they also just have been able to upgrade a lot of like simpler missiles like Neptune missiles to, like having much more range and more firepower. They made the Palyannitsia missile drone, which is like a hybrid of the two. And now that they're going to have access to US made long-range ATACMS, I mean, I think Ukraine's going to get very creative. And I think they already know where to strike because they've wanted to strike for years, And so I think it can. Do I think slavery was the basis for U.S. economic success from then to the modern age? For the South, absolutely. It made their products cheaper. That's cap. Kennedy Jr., you've already demonstrated a lack of perspective just by saying that's cap and giving no reference to what the hell I was talking about. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes often. Sure, great. That's a very good point. But it all depends on, like, France couldn't beat Russia because, the French were used to fighting under French or Central European conditions. Ukraine experiences the same winter as Russia because it was Russian winter that beat every other invader. Ukraine has the same winter as Russia. So the Ukraine military, knows the same tricks that Russia does. Except Ukraine now has NATO backing. They're not, they don't have NATO troops, but they have access to NATO weaponry. And I would not be surprised if they have a lot of access to NATO intel. Is Joey Contino still a good source regarding? I don't follow Joey Contino. I don't really follow too many other influencers anymore because I'm too busy aggregating my own knowledge. But I haven't seen anything of his to make me think he's a bad creator. Like, is there something you guys found out? There are some things where the Russians are better than the U.S. Hold on. Tell me what you think. I just want to get myself some more water. I'll be right back, guys. Thank you for being so patient. Yeah. Not done. Alrighty. Okay. That's awesome. You followed for oh great, thank you, Osa, and enjoy my content, but I had no idea I had a good foundation. Oh hey, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Oh well, another thing I have is like I think the best way to apply a lot of your knowledge is to speak about it. And very often when I started, I was incorrect and I looked stupid a lot, but I just kept going. That's it. I just kept going. I would ask more questions. I would present my opinions and I'd get shot down. But as I kept presenting my opinions and making myself look stupid, I finally just started to pick things up. And, like if someone actually corrected me, I would take it. I would be like, okay, well, this is new information. Now I have more perspective. And I just kept going over and over and over and over and over and over again until I knew more than everybody else. The most powerful weapon of Russia is propaganda to divide a country. Sure. Yeah, but like Americans are pretty good at propaganda too. I remember reading a story from it was an old archive, but during World War II, the Americans and the British were very hesitant to show their intel with Russia to fight the Germans, but finally they had to just to have like a united front. And when Stalin found out how deep American and British propaganda was in how deeply they infiltrated the Soviet Union, Stalin was horrified. And that's one of the reasons why he put up the Iron Curtain. And that's also one of the reasons why the KGB in the 60s and 70s was like 700,000 people strong. And the vast majority of the KGB was spying on their own people. There were 600 to 700,000 KGB in total. But 1 out of every 17 Russians was an informant. 1 out of every 17 Soviets. So that's including Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Tajikistan. Armenia. I don't know if I said Kazakhstan, but 1 out of 17 of everyone there was an informant for the KGB. So they didn't work for the KGB; they were informants. That's insane. But that's how deeply the West infiltrated the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union always they were always suspicious of their own people. The KGB financed Nazi groups in West Germany to hold investors back. So don't invest in Germany during the Cold War. That's new information. That being said, what are my thoughts on TikTok ban? I don't think it's very likely. I think TikTok is too profitable for them to just ban it. Who do I think will be the next appointee for Attorney General? Oh man, maybe that congressman from Missouri, Cromley, whatever his name is, maybe him. Can I recommend a book about this topic about what the U.S. and the U.S. and the USSR? Philly boy. You wish Yuval would make a response to my video because I think it's a conversation that needs to be had, but it seems like him and his fan base are only concerned with debunking. Yeah, but he can't even dunk that well. Like, I guess he can dunk against someone who doesn't do their research, but like, you can't dunk on someone who double, triple, quadruple checks his data. Like, I mean, I'm kind of undunkable. At least to these conventional people. Like Yuval's dunk was so poorly thought out and so unnuanced, and at first I was like, oh, this is decent, but then as I just looked more into what he said, I was like, this is so stupid. I was very disappointed. Like, I mean, again, I'm not trying to brag, but I have international experts like chiming in that I'm doing the right thing. So, I mean, just people like Yuval who just have a lot of followers, it doesn't do anything, doesn't mean anything really. But he did give me an opportunity to spread my own message. Like I've said before, I don't go after people who have smaller followings than me or who have like similar followings than me, because why would I introduce them to like my bigger audience? But Yuval's got 3 million followers. I'm a dent. Like my new followers will barely do anything to increase his viewership. So for me, I was like, oh, you want to come at me? It's open season, baby. It was fun. I learned a lot. Bonjour, Tony Mobile. Comment allez-vous? What do I think about Yuri Bezmenov? I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. I may have forgotten. How do I say? Okay. J'ai parlé un beaucoup de français. J'ai habité en France. Il y a 20 ans, 24 ans, j'ai habité en France, en mairie de Montreuil, avec mon oncle pour 1 mois. Et j'ai étudié français et j'ai parlé avec mon oncle seulement en français parce qu'il seulement parle français et croate. Yeah. No, I forgot. Russe? Non, j'ai oublié le mot pour les langues. Mais, j'ai oublié trop de mon français. Let's see. I wish I could remember where I read it from, Carl. Yeah, I'll try to find it. What am I gonna do at the 50th summit? I was already there. I was invited this July. Is Israel the 50th summit? Sorry, it was the 75th summit. Is Israel economy doing good? I haven't read on their economy, but I can't imagine them doing well. I can't imagine them having a stable economy with all the instability that they're contributing to in the Middle East. That's what TikTok is. There's little in the way of productive discussion because it's a bunch of dopamine. Oh, so true, Simons. You're right. Oui. Je vais très bien et vous? Very good. Oh, merci beaucoup. You should watch some stuff about Yuri Bezmenov. Who is? Qui est Yuri Bezmenov? Bonjour, Tony. Tu viens de France, au Belgique. Oh, wow, vous parlez français aussi. Oh, parce que, Safouane, vous êtes de Maroc, oui? I'm not trying to show off. It's just, I do try to, if someone's speaking French, I'll try to like just speak whatever I remember. I was studying Russian for a while too. Потому что я хочу говорить по-русски. Мои дети. Ali, я заборывам мой moi Borowski. Je suis né en Belgique. Je sais, vous êtes Safouine, vous êtes Maroc, oui? Safouine, non. Non, je viens du Congo, en Afrique. Oh, wow. Tony, I didn't know that the people in Congo spoke French. I thought that Congo. Oh, wait, yeah, Belgian Congo. Oh, my. Zut alors, bien, bien sûr. He was a former KGB agent, said he was a traitor. Oh, and he was warning the US about the huge. Okay. Was he the one who talked about all the Russian styles of propaganda, like the rotten fish or the lie that's too big to believe? C'est Marocain? Okay. J'ai raison, Safouine. I'm so happy. All right. Gif name Plox. Je m'appelle Fromage is the only. Je m'appelle Fromage. You just said your name is cheese. Je m'appelle is my name. Fromage is cheese. Cheese. Maybe you wanted to say that j'aime fromage. J'aime le fromage. I think j'aime le fromage is how we would say it, because I think j'aime le fromage. J'ai oublié. So, oh wow, okay, 19 people. Guys, ask your questions. Feel free. Frère, j'espère que tout vit bien au Congo. Yeah, oh, et moi aussi. Parce que je sais qu'il y a beaucoup de génocide pas de Congo, mais en le DRC. Do I speak Dutch? All I know in Dutch is ik zie u graag. All you need on your site is more Will Ferrell cowboy. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Why is she crying? Pardonnez-moi. J'étais avec mes enfants. 13 people. So great. All you need. But can I? Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, aber ich habe vergessen viel. Aber ich möchte sprechen Deutsch. Ich möchte. Nein, ich möchte. Ich liebe sprechen Deutsch. He talked about the 4 big propaganda styles. Oh, yes. Okay, there we go. I think I've read that. I've read that too. The 4 stages of ideological subversion. Bist du Deutsch? Okay. Ja. Okay, very cool. So, but the thing is, that suggestion is like, it suggests that the U.S. doesn't implement its own propaganda. I mean, our biggest propaganda machine is like Facebook, Instagram, movies, Hollywood, a whole bunch of other things. Just our commercials. Look, you look at like what's the cool thing to do in Russia is it still is to have American products, to have American clothes, American musicians, and it's not just Russia; it's all over the world. So, there are a lot more Russians attempting to imitate Americans than there are Americans attempting to imitate Russia. Wunderbar. The ich is pronounced like ish. Yeah, ish. You're right. I remember that. It would be ish. So ish. Yeah. So what? Ich habe eine Frage. But yeah, it's when it comes to the propaganda. I mean, America. I don't know. I think there's American propaganda, there's Russian propaganda, there's Chinese propaganda, but I don't know if the Chinese or the Iranians know how to reach American ideology. I don't know if they're as experienced as, let's say, the Russians. But even the Russians, there is some effect. But I think that's kind of used by the GOP to fulfill a lot of what they want. Thank you, Carls. Have I ever been to Germany? Nein. Is it nur? Is it nur? Nur, ich nur. Oh, now I'm forgetting everything. Sorry. America makes entertaining propaganda. Very true. If I ask ordinary people what they will say that the U.S. is the evil of everything. Well, yeah, because we're like, look, everyone blames daddy. Everyone always blames daddy, and America is the big bad daddy. So they're the easiest target. It's just like, if you've read, I'm sure you guys have read Animal Farm by George Orwell, where um at first it's Farmer Jones that did everything wrong. He's the, like, and when he's actually the farmer, yeah, he's really bad. But when the animals finally take over, and Snowball and Napoleon, the two pigs who are like Trotsky and Stalin, they're still blaming Farmer Jones and Farmer Jones's allies, for what's going wrong in the farm, until finally they try to just become more like Farmer Jones and their allies at the very end. But is really U.S. support Ukraine till the end of the conflict? I hope so. You know, who knows? Maybe with Biden's aid and the attackums, the conflict will end sooner. Maybe before Trump takes office. Did I watch Mark Riker, by the way? No, I don't know. I still didn't see it. The problem is Russia, the U.S., China invading weaker countries. Yeah. What do I think about woke culture? Not a fan. Not a fan of it. I mean, I uphold some of it, sure, but I don't think it should be like, it should get in the way of just like a functioning society. I mean, like, sometimes people have to take accountability for their own actions. And your skin color, your gender, nothing should shield you from the consequences of your own actions. And your skin color, your gender, your religion, none of that is a qualification for doing a job. Am I religious? No. I used to be a long time ago, but no. Moi, was geht? Ich kann mich nicht kontrollieren. You cannot control yourself? I just hit my glass on my teeth. Someone told me that this looked like an elitist drinking glass, and I think these were either a wedding gift or they were one of the set I got for like $12. I am dirt cheap. That's one of the things too. How come I speak German? I like studying languages, so I learned Spanish, French. I learned German, a little bit of German for fun. I was learning German from Russian for my family. In my 20s, I was bored, so I tried to learn some Japanese, and I learned the hiragana and the katakana. I was picking up some of the kanji, but I didn't really have anyone to practice with. I even studied a little Chinese at one point. I studied Polish when I was in Poland for a few weeks, and I was actually like slightly conversant, so that was pretty cool. I have to watch it with subtitles, Carl. Okay. Pam Bondi has been nominated for the. I don't even know who Pam Bondi is. This is my job, Litvid. This is what I'm currently doing now, and this is what I want to do. It's the most rewarding profession I've ever had in my life. Tony, thank you very much. How old? Oh, sure. Okay, guys, do me a favor. Tell me how old you think I am in the comments. Tell me, because you may be surprised. Who knows? Maybe you're not, and I'm being vain. So type. Only Germans, 42, 45. You bastards, you're close. I'm 44. I'm 44. She was Trump's lawyer. Oh, God. All right. Okay. 30. Yes. See, that's what I want to see, Geef name blocks. That's it. 51. Oh, my God. No. I'm 44. I'm 44. I am anti-Trump. Thank you very much for saying I look. The reason why I'm anti-Trump is, one, my father used to work for Donald Trump, so I know a lot. I've also, I'll tell you this. There was a period of time where I lived far away. I lived all the way in New York City, and I fell in love with a very, very successful woman who was an interior designer to a lot of billionaires, and I met billionaires, and none of them liked Trump. They all just said he kept trying to like shyster people, and they pretty much confirmed a lot of what my father heard, that he just wasn't paying a lot of his contractors and he got away with it. And but even then, I still liked him because my father worshipped him. But once, and I read a couple of his books, so I just thought that, I just thought he was something special. And then when I started to hear him speak about the in the anti-birther movement, I was like, what the heck is this? That's kind of ridiculous. And when I heard him give his speeches as he was running in 2016, I was like, who on earth is this guy? Like, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And the more I heard him speak, I was like, oh my God, how could I have admired this man for almost 30 years? It was just, and then he became the president, and then, all that ridiculousness happened. So, yes, I am anti-Trump. But even though I am anti-Trump, I am pro-America. And if Trump gets sworn in, he is my president. And I will support my president. I will support my president. I will support my country. And I will not badmouth Trump on my social media platform. I will not do anything that I believe that can be a threat to the territorial integrity or the legal integrity or any kind of integrity of this country. I may say that I disagree, but I will not bash him, because he will be my president again, as much as I don't like it. Because before anything, I'm an American. Thank you, Bahet. Let's see. What do you think they did not? I don't know what you mean. Sorry about that, Litvid. Actually, the funniest thing is most people should stick to the S&P. Yep, yeah, absolutely. No, I am not Jewish. What exactly do I not like? Can I give me insights that maybe others don't know? Oh, like I said, the contractors he didn't pay. Just here, I don't like anyone lying, saying that they've done the best than any other person, when, like, if you know your history, you know that isn't true, and Trump has said that so many times. The fact that Trump would not condemn the KKK when he was asked about the KKK, he just said, "Oh, I don't know them. I don't know what they do," or anything like that. So I think that's spineless. I don't like his how he was addressing COVID in the very beginning. He refused to meet with the Surgeon General in December of 2019, when he could have taken a lot more steps to protect our country. And then, of course, I don't like the fact that he denied losing the election in 2020. And I don't like the fact that he helped stir up the insurrection that happened on January 6th. And if you don't think there was an insurrection, I don't really care about anything you have to say. Americans have something unique compared to other countries. You Americans would fight. Yeah, absolutely. Why would I shave my head? There was a U.S. program that was sharing free food in schools here. That was cut by Trump. There you go. I mean, Jesus Christ. I remember reading something about that. I'm sorry, but for me, kids are the one thing you just help. That's the one thing you do. You help. And I don't care if my taxes go to helping children who grew up in broken families. It's not up to these helpless children. There should be social safety nets for our children. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. This is just gonna show up on the YouTube if you guys want to watch. I'm really glad you guys came, and I'll try to be on tomorrow. It's just this week was a bit hectic, but stay tuned and I'll let you guys know. Thank you guys so much for your comments. Thanks for